Evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Bat Around. I'm your host, Paul Valley. With me, no, that is not Zach Moore. That is Dillon Atkinson joining me on the show today, the Axeman himself. Not sure how many viewers we're going to have tonight. Zach is on vacation, and usually he sets up his Twitch and YouTube and his X feed and all that, and Facebook and all that stuff, so he gets way more viewership by doing that, and I'll have to learn how to set that up one day. I'm that old man yells at cloud. I'm not trying to do all that technology right now, but I'll figure it out at some point. So, Dillon, thank you so much for joining the show. Before we get into things, I want to remind everybody today's show is brought to you by helpmygamblingproblem.org. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. That's 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Today's show also brought to you by Warnkin Law. When you need results in Baltimore, you don't play small ball. If you've been hurt in a crash, call 443-RESULTS or visit warnkinlaw.com. That's 443-RESULTS or visit warnkinlaw.com. On the contrary, though, Axeman, Craig Alvarez wants to play small ball. He wants them running more, taking the extra base when they can, working better at bats, because the Orioles aren't scoring any runs outside of today. But this is kind of par for the course for what they do. They go into a series against a team that they should be better than, like the Angels, and they win those first two games and manage to lose game 3, or they'll win the first game, lose the second game, and then inevitably lose the rubber game. I think they're like now 21-17 in series openers this year, but then it's just the next two games that kind of screw them up. Then when they play a team that is in the playoff hunt, either directly in front of them, right next to them, or directly behind them, they kind of crap the bed. And you saw them do it against Detroit, where they managed to win that series, but I mean, they lost the middle game of that series 14-0, and they were down 7-0 in the 7th with Tarek Skubal on the mound. They came back and won that game, and after they won that game, what was it, 10-9 or 12-11 or whatever it was in 12 innings, they managed to win that game, and then they just decided, we're done scoring runs. They just stopped scoring runs after that. They go into Texas, the team directly in front of them. They go into Texas, what was it, a game out of the wild card, and Texas was the third wild card team. They lose game 1, 2-1. They lose game 2, 5-1. And then today they go up 5-0, then it's 5-3, and I'm convinced they're going to lose the game, but then they just tack on, and they end up winning the game 10-5. Bottom line is, this team can't hit, Dillon, right?
At least not consistently.
No, we're not even going to give them that caveat. They can't hit. The Pete Alonso, after his 3-for-3 game today, I think he's hitting 254. It's the highest average on the team. That's pathetic.
Well, yeah. Yep.
It's the highest average on the team. So now we're looking at it, and then you combine that with the trade deadline, which maybe should have been the lead story, but it happened 6 days ago. And frankly, man, oh my God, between Tarek Skubal going to the Dodgers and seeing all that all week, to then seeing Adley Rutschman just sitting in the dugout for the Red Sox, or standing in the Red Sox hallway, or, catching a ball in practice with the Red Sox and throwing it down to second, or playing in a minor league game with, what was it, Worcester? Or what,
or listening to Sonny Gray. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't, but that's just because
Sonny Gray was talking Adley's ear off in the dugout.
Oh, I did see that.
And you could just tell Adley was like, "Oh my God, even Colton didn't talk this much."
Oh my God, man. I did see that. And I'm like, my X got hacked this week.
And you got rocked?
Oh, worse. Because Rock, the person that hacked him, used his name and his profile picture. Caleb Joseph has sent me multiple DMs this week to help him in a podcast contest and saying, praying hands, I really need your support. I messaged him. I tweeted at him. I was like, hey, bro, you've been hacked. Mine I saw it happen in real time, dude. I posted something about something about Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, right? And that was at noon on Wednesday. Noon on
Okay.
Wednesday. At 12:20 something, I was reading something and I saw my stuff like change before my eyes. And now my picture says XYZ and my name says at Trader Seth _IO. And
Oh,
I was like, what the hell is this? So then the post started coming. So I deleted all the posts, went in, figured out how to change my password and everything because this person that hacked me, they couldn't figure out how to change my phone number and my email. So
okay.
X froze my account. Like they froze my ability to change my profile picture and my username until Friday. Friday, I finally got that stuff back. So luckily,
Oh, wow.
I got to miss a couple of crap performances by the team.
It's probably for the best, honestly. Good timing.
It was good timing. The cool thing is this person verified their account using my information, and then when I got control of my account back, I'm now verified, and I didn't have to pay for it. Like,
Oh, that's good.
I just got the message the other day. Your account is now blue check verified. I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't, thanks, dick. You know,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. But I digress. Probably a good time for me to not have to see everything because, dude, I'm just, and I said it on Monday night. I am just exhausted with this.
Mhm.
Like, the, we've attacked Gunner all year. I don't think anybody that has watched Gunnar Henderson play thought that this kind of a year is possible from him.
Yeah, not at all.
Like they took him out in the seventh inning today, and if Gunnar was going right, he stays in the game. They took him out because like you see the body language. Like the guy is now he's out there and it looks like he's going through the motions. Even if he's working his butt off and all, like it looks like he's going through he's defeated. He is
Yeah.
absolutely defeated. Then you look at the rest of the team, man, and I'm like Adley's gone. You've got no Samuel Basayo right now. You've got no Westberg, no Blaze Alexander. Colton Cowser's a platoon player. Taylor Ward's gone. And it's just, and we're watching guys named Christian Franklin. Christian Franklin's like a one-man cold. Christian Franklin, the only one coming up with it. What is it? The only one catching it? Christian Franklin, the only one coming down. Like you got Christian Franklin, and now you're watching Pozo behind the plate and Narvaez behind the plate, and we're watching this guy named Hoppy coming out of the bullpen. Like, who the hell are these guys? And
feels like the opening to Major League.
Oh my! It absolutely does, man. I actually quoted Major League today at my game, but and then for Mike Elias to like the trades, and again, we'll get into all the trades. The trades themselves. Okay, I get it, right? Dean's pitching to a 6.50 ERA. He's been awful this year. You've got Bassett coming back. You got Povich coming back. You feel like you're okay. You trade away Dean, and you get a pretty solid hitting 18-year-old outfielder who just tore up the Florida Coast League and now he's an A-ball. Okay,
it was more so they didn't want Dean anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what it came down to. Dean, we're done with you. See ya. Then you trade. Then you trade Taylor Ward. Again, we know that this is happening, right? You get back a 27-year-old relief pitcher in Hoppy who averages 98 on his fastball. Apparently, he's got some good secondary offerings. He just doesn't know where the hell the ball is going. And pitching, he made his major league debut this year. He had 24 relief appearances with the Mariners, 5.79 ERA, something like that. He's pitched okay for the Orioles in his couple of outings. You get a 26-year-old AA pitcher and a 24-year-old high A pitcher, and it's like, all right, these guys, like, they've got fairly electric arms too. So you're fine with that move, and especially when you know that it's for basically 50 games of Taylor Ward that you're losing. Right. Then the big one. Adley gets traded people lose their minds.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know what I know because of what Zach knows, you get it, right? Because you've approached him multiple times to get him to sign an extension. You're not close. He wants X amount of years. You're not giving a 28-year-old catcher who's been on the IL 5 times in the last 2 seasons those years. And he's gonna be 29 in
Right.
February. You're not giving him those years. You have no idea if you're playing baseball next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't make the same mistake that the Orioles made when they traded Manny. You have to trade Adley when his value is at its highest. He's averaging like an RBI a game this year. He just was an all-star. It's the best defensive season of his career. You're cashing in at his highest value right now, and you got a haul for him. You get this outfielder, Azakar, who's 19 years old, hitting in high A, tearing the cover off the baseball. You trade Jake Rogers with Adley, the Jake Rogers era, 2 games. You trade Jake Rogers. You get Narvaez back in place of him. You get what's the 15th overall pick that they got from last year? What's that pitcher's name?
You're putting me on the spot right now.
Yeah,
I was ready to say Anthony Ianson for you, but you're not talking about him because he was a 3rd-round pick, but he's the top arm that came back in the deal.
Let's see.
You are talking about Kyson Witherspoon.
You get Kyson Witherspoon. He was a 15th pick, the 15th overall pick in the 2025 draft. So that's another good pick. And he started this year in the top 100. But the steal, Anthony Ianson, 132 ERA in between high A and double A, 16 games, 15 starts, just dominating stuff at the minor league level.
I watched his debut last night. I was in attendance. I was in attendance. Actually got my tickets before they even announced Ianson was going to be the starter. So once I saw he was going to be the starter, I was like, oh, I guess I get to watch him pitch. Okay.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I was 2 rows back behind home plate, just slightly on the third base side. And just from what I could see, oh, dude's money. I mean, just his poise on the mound was fun to watch. I mean, he works fast. He did give up 2 solo home runs, but it was right back to work after that. Each time he gave up a solo homer, he retired the rest of the side immediately afterward. Mm-hmm. Had 9 punch outs in 5 innings. Love to see that. Guys were just off balance all night.
And this is a guy who was the Red Sox top pitching prospect, their number 2 overall prospect. MLB Pipeline had him as the number 49 overall prospect, Baseball America number 33. He comes in and immediately catapults to the top of the Orioles top 30 prospects list. And, so far through 1 start as advertised, and you feel good about this guy, right? You feel like you got somebody who can probably help you as early as 2027. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at your rotation, you've got Kyle Bradish and Shane Baz anchoring that rotation down. You've got you're probably gonna have Trevor Rogers either with the qualifying offer or with an extension in your rotation next year. And you're talking about maybe having Ianson if he performs well the rest of this year. If they play baseball, he does well in spring training next year. You're looking at a situation, and even if he doesn't come up till 2028, your rotation is solid for the foreseeable future here. Right? Sure. So you're feeling good about that. Then they make the trade for Tyler Wells. Tyler Wells to Tampa Bay for Michael Ferret. And at first I thought, now they're absolutely selling because there is no need to trade Tyler Wells. That doesn't make, when you see that they got Ferret back, Ferret is pretty damn close to Major League ready. They didn't want to trade him when they traded him for Shane Baz in the offseason, but they had to get that deal done. They're able to get him back. Would have rather they got Caden Bodine back, but beggars can't be choosers. They get Ferret back, and Ferret, was dominating at AA. He was putting up Ianson type numbers at AA. They called him up to AAA, got hit around a little bit, but he's settling in now, and he's probably, like Mike Elias said, just a phone call away. Mm-hmm. You understand the trades, and when you look at all 5 players, but I don't count Jake Rogers. When you look at all 4 key players that they traded, they're either free agents at the end of this year or the end of next year. And it tells me we don't know if we're playing baseball or not next year. So
True.
let's get what we can get for some of these guys. And again, I understand it. That's not my issue. My issue is you did nothing to add to your team 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. And then you win the first 2 games coming out of the deadline. You win the first 2 games, and suddenly you're a half game back of the final. You're the 4 seed for the wild card, a half game back, and you did nothing to improve your ball club. We're like, I'm sure that Christian Franklin could be potentially a serviceable major leaguer at some point in his lifetime.
Sure.
But even if the Nationals had him blocked, 26 years old, playing AAA baseball, hasn't made his major league debut yet, there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah. Now, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Can
I please just give some flowers to Christian Franklin real quick? Because I can't think of a worse way to have your first major league hit. He had his first major league hit on the play in the 9th inning in Texas with the Leote play at the plate, which I'm not even going to talk about it. But if you think about it, it started off as this is the best way for him to get his first major league hit. You kidding me? You're down 1 in the 9th and you hit a ball down in the right field corner with probably the fastest man in your team on first base. That's literally the best way to have your first major league hit outside of a home run or a walk-off home or whatever. Right. But like he had an all glory moment that just turned into nobody is talking about my first major league hit right now.
Yeah.
No, like everyone forgot that I just had my first major league hit.
And honestly, and you could
see. So congratulations, Christian Franklin. You came through clutch in that moment. You deserve your flowers on your first big league hit.
And you could see the guys on who's the first baseman or the second? Was it Seager that was talking to Franklin while they were looking at the review, or was it their second baseman who was like, "Oh crap, that was your first hit"? Like
I think it was Seager.
Yeah, he was like, "That was your first hit." Like, wow. Meanwhile, what was Leote's slide there? How do you go?
I know.
Foot first straight to the plate when the guy's got the ball.
Sitting straight up, foot first, your front foot kicks up in the air. So your front leg isn't even what hit home plate. It was your back leg that touched home plate. Now, I can complain about the call all day long, but I hated that slide. Some people hated the send from third base. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the send because are you really depending on this Orioles offense to drive this man in from third base anymore? This was your one opportunity. Go get it. You know? I'm like, you're not going to hook slide, head first slide, nothing?
Nothing to evade the tag. He just went straight into it. And even the guy missed the tag. He tagged him with his elbow.
I don't think I've ever seen that much contact on a play between a fielder and a runner and no tag applied.
Oh, my God. But by the way, yeah, so the original guy, he just wasn't working out. You know, Pigtail Sports wants to know who's the new guy. Zach just wasn't working. Oh, that's hey Zach. No,
love you, Zach.
Zach also said it was Nicky Lopez who was like, "Oh, that was your first hit." Not because if it had been Seager, I would have recognized him as Seager. You know,
fair.
So I'm. You did nothing to make your team better at the deadline, and I just. And it goes back, it takes me back to 2022 when the Orioles were the first team on the outside looking in for the playoffs. Tampa Bay lost 12 of their final 16 games that year. They held the door open and stepped aside and said, "Please, after you," to the Orioles. And the Orioles were like, "Nah, we'll get you next year. We'll get you next year. We're not ready." And they sold at that deadline too. And basically what Mike Elias is telling, he can give me all the word vomit he wants. What he's telling us is we're not making the playoffs. We're not good enough. You can come out after the fire sale this year and say, we didn't dismantle the team. We're still pushing all our chips into to make a postseason run here. You can say that all you want, but when you score 11 runs in 6 days after trading away key pieces, like, I don't need to hear it because you're lying to me. You lied back on June 27th when you said that you were going to be buyers at the deadline when you were 2.5 games out. The Friday before the trade deadline, when you're 2.5 games out, you then say, we have not put ourselves in a position to be in one bucket or the other. We're to be in the buyer's bucket or the seller's bucket. That was as vague as that was, it was still a lie because you alluded to the idea that you could be buyers. And if you want to say that you bought Christian Franklin and you bought Hoppy, shut the hell up. He might as well be Daniel Johnson or Greg Allen or Jordan Adams. That's how I view Christian Franklin. And maybe he's great. Maybe he's the next Cedric Mullins, and everybody's going to love him the same way they loved Seti. Count me out on that. I'm not going to get my hopes up that a 26-year-old rookie making his big league debut in August is the savior of the team this year.
Right.
I'm not getting my hopes up on that, man. You didn't do anything. There were players to be had. You didn't address your outfield. You traded from an already weak outfield. Maybe you got a little bit better defensively, but if the guy can't hit, and if you're Blaze Alexander and you're sitting there and you're saying, I hit 369 from May 1st to when I had my hand broken and I couldn't get out of the 9-hole. Christian Franklin comes in and gets a walk and a stolen base in his first career game, and the next damn day he's leading off. What are we doing?
Yeah, I know.
It's just, and like I said on Monday, I'm not even mad. It might seem like I'm mad. I'm really not mad. I don't like being lied to. I don't like being gaslit. I don't like that the GM thinks that all the fans are idiots and can't see what's happening. I don't like that. I'm sad. Mostly I'm sad. Mostly I'm 50% sad, 50% tired.
Yeah, tired is a great word to use on this. It's very tiring going through this on a day-by-day basis now.
Day by day, year by year.
Here's the one that gets me with Mike Elias is no quote from him has made me laugh more from him this year than when he was in the broadcast booth the day or the night of the trade, the first game back after the trade deadline. And first words out of his mouth is, nobody is sadder than me about trading Adley Rutschman. I can take all of the other word salad, the lies, whatever, because you know what? Some people can play that off as, he has to say that because he doesn't want to show his hand or whatever, maybe whatever. That's GM BS word salad talk, whatever. Don't tell me that you're the saddest person alive about trading Adley Rutschman. We know that's BS.
Right.
We see Gunnar moping on the field. We know he's more sad than you are. All
yeah.
Right? Go give that man a hug or something, all right?
Mike, we're the same age, you and me. You're a year older than me, dude. And you worked for the Cardinals and the Astros before this.
Mm-hmm.
You are not sadder than me. All right? You have not spent 29 seasons of your life watching this team lose. You have not sat there and tried to convince yourself that the 2002 Baltimore Orioles are going to break their consecutive losing seasons streak. And then watch them go 4 and get to 63-63 and then go 4-32 down the stretch. All right. You are not sadder than me. You are not sadder than Dillon or Kerry or Kim or Zach or AJ or insert name here. Are you going to talk to the team? I don't know, man. I'm really tired. Are you what did you just say to me? Did you just tell me you're tired? Oh, you're tired? You son of a bitch. You're tired? See, now I'm mad. I wasn't mad. Now I'm mad because I'm actually giving this stuff energy now. I was so tired that day. I couldn't give enough energy. Now I have energy to give it, even though I'm exhausted tonight. I have energy, and now I'm mad. Now
there
I'm
you
mad,
go.
you piece of shit. Like,
I'm glad I could contribute to that.
Now, I'm trying to find the exact quote because with the whole X hacking situation for me, I don't feel like going through the process. Now I have a 2FA method to sign in. I don't feel like going through the process to sign in on my computer. So let me see if I can find this quote. It was from Andy Kotska. It was from the Baltimore Banner. The David Rubenstein said the other day. It was like literally, I think it was Friday or Saturday night, right? Andy Kotska. Let's see if I can find it here. Well, no, there's no way I'm going to find it in a timely manner. But basically, David Rubin. Oh, here it is. I found it fast. This is the quote from an article that Andy wrote for the Banner, talking about David Rubenstein's feelings now that Mike Elias wasn't sitting right next to him at a press conference. Mike Arrighetti and I have tripled the salaries, yet we went from first place to last place, Rubenstein joked. It's a little frustrating and embarrassing. I'm really embarrassed about it, but I'm trying to do what I can to fix it and turn it around. And, we'll see. I hope when my obituary is written, they will say World Series champion rather than Carlisle co-founder as the headline. But at this point, I'm not sure it'll get that way.
Did you watch the actual video of him saying that?
No.
There's an actual video of him saying it, so you could actually see his demeanor and everything. You could tell, dude meant every word he said. He's embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit enlightening to say. I don't know if enlightened is the right word to use here, but when you see the things that Rubenstein's saying in the press conferences, on the extensions, or the things that he's posting on Twitter/X during the games. Like he's talking about his new book and everything in the middle of the Orioles comeback in the Scooble game. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, he doesn't really give an F, but no, like he had, it was either a podcast interview, whatever it was, where he was on video saying that exact quote. That's where they got it from. And you could tell just his demeanor, dude literally does feel embarrassed because when he took over ownership, he was, the Orioles were 1 year removed from being first place in the AL East, over 100 wins. And like he said, he tripled the payroll basically. And now they're duds.
Yeah. 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Two years in a row. And really it's 2.5 seasons of losing baseball since he took over. And what I smell smoke. And I don't mean smoke that he's blowing up our asses. I mean, I smell smoke as in Mike Elias' seat is hotter than we were led to believe at that Kyle Bradish press conference.
Yeah.
I think Elias's seat is very hot right now.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's as hot as he's going to be gone this offseason or if it's hot in the sense of this is your last chance to turn this ish around or you aren't going to be there anymore. Yeah.
Like it's just very, very frustrating. So like people are like, somebody said to me, what would you rather they do? Hang on to these guys and then watch Adley walk in free agency? Well, no. Like I said, I understand the trades. I don't understand not adding to a ball club that's like you can see the asses of the team in front of you. Like I don't understand doing that. If you can make the playoffs, you make a run at making the playoffs. Look at what Minnesota's was basically in the same situation as you this year, and they went for it.
Yeah, and the pieces that Minnesota added, they weren't really anything to talk about. The pieces that they added, they were buy moves, but they were for guys that have been struggling this year, a la a Dean Kremer.
Yeah,
and
they
added Jeff Hoffman. But you know what? They went out and they added to their ball club, and
they didn't sell off anybody.
They took a chance on, hopefully we can strike gold with this guy,
right?
Type ordeal, which is something that you could have done. You could have sold off an 18-year-old outfielder for a lottery ticket on a guy who has had a better career in recent years, but wasn't doing so hot this year. Maybe change of scenery helps you turn it around. Type ordeal, like the Twins are trying to do with Kremer. You could have made a move like that really wouldn't have costed you much prospect capital, if any.
Right. And like, go get Michael Ferret back. That's fine. I get that. But like, who's replacing Tyler Wells in your bullpen? You needed relief help. You traded your best on base guy, which is fine. And I want to get to that in a second, but like, nobody expected Taylor Ward to still be here. That was on the wall 2 months ago that he was getting traded, right? So we all understood that. But you didn't replace him with a new outfielder that's a major league outfielder. So you took a weakness, you made it weaker. You took a weakness in your bullpen, you made it weaker. You took a lineup that wasn't scoring runs on a like I posted at one point this year, the Orioles have scored 54% of their runs in 33% of their games. They have a number of games where they've scored 10, 11, 12 runs, 8 runs, 9 runs. But then like 2/3 of their games, they're scoring 3 or less.
Right.
Not 2/3, but like it's like 60 games that they've scored 3 runs or less this year. It's bad. It's bad. And so you made your team weaker. You just absolutely made your team weaker at the trade deadline. You made your future brighter, but how much prospect hoarding are we going to do? Like somebody posted in here, like I'm glad that we now have the number 2. I think it was AJ. AJ loves you, by the way. He's like, oh, it's the Axeman. Let's see. Where did AJ put the comment in here a little bit ago? Sorry, dead air. I love the trades. We have a top 2 farm system again. Adley is old and will be a DH soon who bats .216. He'll probably go on to win a ring like Mancini did after we dealt him, so kudos to him, but I love the trade. I love the trade too, but I don't give a damn about being a top 2 farm system. We were the number 1 farm system in baseball for 3 years. We had the number 1 prospect in baseball for 3 years. We got 0 playoff wins. We have as many playoff wins as the 1998 to 2011 Baltimore Orioles had when they lost for 14 consecutive seasons. We have the same amount of playoff wins. A big goose egg. Goose egg.
Yep. And here's the thing. I have no problem with having a great farm system. No problem with that whatsoever. It's
Why would you have a problem?
Right. It's a good thing to have. Absolutely. It's just the thing is we went through years of this rebuild that started at the end of 2018. And as much as we talked crap and held sorrow and everything, we bought into it. As a fan base, Orioles fans bought into it knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There was 2-3 years of having the number 1 farm system. We knew that these guys are coming, Well, guess what? Those guys, they came. They've been here. And just like you said, there have been 0 playoff wins. And that's it. The last home playoff win the Orioles have was the Delman double.
Yeah, I was there.
I'm actually sick of seeing it now.
Yeah, I don't need to see it anymore.
Because the only reason that we do see it every year or however often people post it is because that's the last good memory of playoff baseball at Camden Yards.
Mm-hmm. It could have been the Cedric Mullins home run in Game 2 of the wild card series.
It could have been. It could have been.
But they gave up 2 runs the next inning.
Yeah, it could have been Game 1 of the ALDS against Texas, but Aaron Hicks missed a hit and run sign.
And they pulled Bradish at like 84 pitches in 4 2/3 innings.
And pinch hit for Jordan Westberg in the 3rd inning or whatever it was.
Yeah, and brought in, I can't even remember the dude's name. What was the dude's name that they brought in?
Was it Jacob Webb?
Jacob Webb gives up the 3-run homer as soon as later in the game. Then the Orioles score 3 runs in the 1st inning in game 2. You're feeling good. Grayson craps the bed, gives up 5. No, yeah. I think he got out of the 1st. I think the 2nd inning he gave up 5 runs. In the 3rd inning he gave up 3 runs, something like that.
I don't think he ever saw the 3rd inning because didn't Baker come in?
Oh, Baker came in. Baker came in. I think he walked the bases loaded, and then Webb came in and gave up the grand slam.
Something like that.
Or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe Webb walked the bases loading, and whoever it was a bunch of BS. Like, that's why I don't want to see the Dillman double anymore, because
I'm done with it.
It was 12 years ago, and it's the last playoff memory that we have.
And I was there. It was electric. I love that Dillman double. I love that game and everything. I will cherish it forever. But I need to see a playoff win almost before I need to see that video again, ever again.
Dude,
I will cherish that video in that clip in that game for the rest of my life. But please just give me another playoff win before I see it again.
Yep. You see the picture behind me? That's
there it is.
On the Dillman double. That's like it's on my wall. Love it, but I agree with you. I want to see a playoff win before I see that double again. Before I see that JJ Hardy slide again, I want to see a playoff win. And what's very frustrating about everything, and what made me sad, seeing Adley play elsewhere. Like, I liked Matt Wieters more than I liked Adley Rutschman.
Yeah.
Like, Matt Wieters was a 2-time, actually I think like a 4-time All-Star. He was a 2-time Gold Glove winner. He had a cannon for an arm. He's a great defensive catcher. He'd hit 20 some odd, but you knew he wasn't Mauer with power.
No.
But he was as good a catcher as the Orioles have ever had in their franchise history. You were going to get about 250 out of him, about 20 home runs, and you were going to get Gold Glove defense. He was a team leader, and the Orioles were a great team when he was their catcher. They were a good damn baseball team. Adley, and I like Adley. I didn't like. I was sad to see him get traded. It is weird that he's not a Baltimore Oriole anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
What makes me the saddest is we sat through a 115-loss season to get to that rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
We were told it's going to be bad here for a while, but it's going to be worth it. Trust the process. We watched 108 losses. We watched 110 losses. What was it? 100 and no, really, it was 115, 108, truncated season, 110 losses. And then 2022 happened.
Yep.
And they ended up winning 83 ball games and still sold at the deadline, and Brandon Hyde punted the last third of the season. It was some of the worst managing I've ever seen, the last third of that season. Adley was the face of your rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
We had a draft watch party at Jimmy Seafood to see the Major League Baseball draft.
Yep.
Okay? I've never been to an NFL draft party. And the NFL draft is like one of the most watched things of the spring television season. Mm-hmm. I've never been to an NFL draft party. I've been to an MLB draft party to watch Adley Rutschman get taken 1-1 overall over Bobby Witt.
Yep.
And I was okay, and I was good with that because he was the cornerstone of your franchise, the face of your franchise, like from that draft day on. He's the drummer of your team, the backbone, your catcher. I'm good with it. You got no playoff wins. And now he plays for your division rival.
Yep.
The rebuild failed.
Yes.
The rebuild failed. And that's what made me sad. That's what made me tired.
And now you're on the plan B. And now you're on the plan B. And the thing is that we don't know if Mike Elias knows what plan B is or not.
The rebuild to the retool to the revamp.
Right. Because this is what he's doing right now is not another rebuild.
No, it's not.
It's not continuing rebuild. They would not have signed Pete Alonso to a 5-year deal. They would not have signed Basayo, Bradish, Boz, etc. to contract extensions. Yennier Cano to contract extensions if they were planning on rebuilding. Mm-hmm. The plan is to contend.
Absolutely.
In 2027. It's just whether or not we can have faith that he's going to put the pieces together properly to make that happen. Now, I will say, as much hate as I have spewed on Mike Elias or Craig Albertaz, whoever, can we just face the fact that this team is one Gunnar Henderson away from competing?
Dylan, we talk about it so much on this show. If Gunnar Henderson is his 2025 version, they aren't selling at the deadline.
They're not selling at the
deadline. Still here.
Adley's still here. They're not selling at the deadline. And we're really not talking this much about Mike Elias or Craig Albertaz.
Mm-hmm. And you know what the other thing is? You know what the other thing is about it? Do you know how much of that is contributing to Gunnar's slump this year? He knows.
Yeah.
Gunnar knows.
Oh, yeah.
Gunnar is 100% keenly aware that if he is just 80%, 70% of his best, the Orioles are a playoff team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he wears it. He wears it.
You could tell by that triple he hit last week.
Like, it made me want to cry.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is talk down on Gunnar Henderson. It's the last thing I want to do. But you cannot ignore, because you like the guy and you feel for him, you cannot ignore that he is the number one reason that this team is where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks to put that on one guy. But there is not a single other player on this roster that they could less afford to have the all-time worst season of his career.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you right now, Pete Alonso is like teetering with the worst season of his career right now.
Yeah, which is still productive. But like, it was 2024. He hit like 240 with 34 homers and 88 RBI. Mm-hmm.
He has the same amount of home runs through 118 games right now as he did in 2024, but he has 12 more RBI. So he's probably going to finish the year with about 32, 33 home runs and about 100 RBIs, which is a good year. But it is below Pete Alonso's standard. He is he is statistically having one of the worst seasons of his career. And he is still the most productive hitter on the team. Gunnar Henderson, God, I don't want to pile on him, but like, he is a bottom 5 player on this active roster this season. And I'm not saying that because that's how I feel. I'm saying it because it's factual. Yep. You go look at his OPS, his weighted runs created, his defensive runs saved, his outs above average at shortstop. You look at all of his numbers, he is actually bottom 5 on the roster. Do you understand that as much crap as we've given Coby Mayo is 3 home runs away from being a better hitter than Gunnar Henderson this year?
Yeah.
And he's in a platoon, essentially, at third base.
Yep.
Gary wants to know how much of Gunnar's issues can be attributed to Scott Boras being in his head about being the next $600 million player. You know, Boras puts pressure on him as well. It's his grandfather died during the WBC, and he dedicated this season to him, and then he got off to a horrendous start and never picked it back up. It's knowing that he is like the main reason this team has underperformed all year. And like,
you can tell he's wearing it. He knows it.
He's 100% wearing it. And like, I'm a human being. I'm a man. I cried watching A League of Their Own earlier today when the guy was like saying bye to his daughter, you know, like I have feelings. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I feel genuinely bad for Gunnar Henderson. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I can't just not talk about it because I feel bad for him. If Gunnar Henderson is doing what he did in 2025, the Orioles are above 500. They're in a playoff spot. Adley Rutschman's still here, and we're not talking about David Rubenstein being embarrassed and Mike Elias being on the hot seat. We just aren't. We just aren't. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, we talked a lot of times over the offseason about how 2025 was Gunnar's down year.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, okay, this is as worse as it's going to get for Gunnar. Like, and
he was still a 5-win player
year and everything. Oh my goodness, the things I would do for a 2025 Gunnar Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane right now.
You'd co-host this show with me, you know. We gotta pay a bill or two here. All right. If you missed anything from Glenn Clark Radio this week, including conversations with Buck Showalter, Tim Kirkson, Navy quarterback Braxton Woodson, and more, you can find them in the Glenn Clark Radio Week in Review feature at PressBoxOnline.com. And as always, watch and listen to GCR every Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. at PressBoxOnline.com/radio or right here on PressBox's Facebook and YouTube pages. Today's show also brought to you by County Sports Zone. All summer long, find the latest news about high school coaching changes and previews for fall football season by visiting countysports.zone. Countysports.zone is proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. So let's talk about, like, look, the Orioles can go out. Like, you know that Dean Kremer is going to shove against them tomorrow. Right.
I've accepted that there is no in between. There is no solid start for Dean Kremer tomorrow where he's, 5 innings, 2 runs, or 6 innings, 3 runs. He's either going to absolutely shove or absolutely get blown up, and there's no in between.
He's going to pitch into the 7th tomorrow, allowing 1 run. That's what he's going to do. Because the way that it goes with the Orioles, if the opposing pitcher has ever been good, has ever been a highly touted prospect, has ever been highly thought of, he will dominate the Orioles. Look at Ryan Johnson. His ERA against every other team in baseball has got to be 10. Against the Orioles, 10 innings pitched, he's allowed 3 hits and 1 run.
Hey, they did destroy Kumar Rocker today, and he was highly touted.
That's true. Okay. All right, Axeman.
One time.
One time. But like Grayson has gotten his teeth kicked in all season. And he comes out there and what did he give you? 7 innings of 2-run ball?
7 innings, yep.
7 innings of 2-run ball.
He got the loss, but that was his first quality start since he's been in an Orioles uniform.
Yep. His first quality start since July 2024. July 2024.
So does he only get quality starts at Oriole Park, or?
Maybe. Was that his last quality start at Oriole Park?
Oh, I don't know, but
I mean,
it was.
Dean's gonna go out there and shove tomorrow. I hope it's the Dean that gave up 4 home runs a few starts ago. I hope it's that Dean, but
yeah,
I just don't trust. I don't trust this team to score 10 runs today. If you read the description of the show, it said the Orioles exploded for 10 runs today, which means that they're going to they won't score again until Wednesday.
Yep.
That's how it's going to go. And the other thing, did you notice that they had 10 runs on 15 hits today and they still left 10 men on base? They still
gotta find a way somehow.
They still left 10 men on base. I looked up when they beat the Red Sox that one game, when they beat them 10-1 and they hit 6 home runs.
Oh, and the big thing on the scoreboard said we ran out of fireworks.
And then the Red Sox won the next day, like 17-1. You remember that?
Right after firing Cora.
Yeah. Well, the Orioles scored 10 runs on 20 hits with 6 home runs. There have been 13 other instances in Major League history where a team has gotten at least 20 hits and 6 home runs. The Orioles' 10 runs were the least runs scored of any team that had done that. The next lowest was 13. The average was like 19 runs. That was like the average. And that was when I was looking, and I didn't want to be because everybody thinks I'm a negative Nancy. I'm a realist, okay? I didn't want to be a negative Nancy, but when I looked up and I saw the box score at the end of the game, and it said 10 runs, 20 hits, and I knew that they had hit 6 home runs. I'm like, how did they not score 25 runs on 20 hits and 6 home runs? And I had to look it up. The least amount of runs ever scored by a team that had 20 hits and 6 home runs in a game. Because they don't do anything in the clutch. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, Leody Taveras bats like 5th and 6th sometimes, despite the fact that he's a 220 hitter with like a 618 OPS, because he's the only person on the roster that can hit above 240 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it is wild with Leody that the only time he almost turns into the 2022 Rougned Odor, where it's like, I'm going to be useless forever, but when you really need me, okay, I'll get a hit, I'll get a knock.
And maybe that's why I just don't like Leody. Like, I want to.
He just reminds you of Rougned.
I never thought about it, but
both started out with Texas, you know.
Maybe my subconscious put the correlation together, but I never actively thought about to this moment. I hated Rougned Odor. I hated him. Like, not a good defensive second baseman.
No.
Like, made a lot of errors.
Yes.
Leody Taveras used to be a good defensive outfielder, not a good defensive outfielder. He's got like 7 errors. What outfielder makes 7 errors in a season? He's got like 7 errors this year. And weak hitting, except for Odor. I remember one game where Odor it was against the Blue Jays in 2022. He botched this play. It allowed the Blue Jays to take the lead, and it was late in the game. And I was like, F you, Rougned.
And then didn't he hit a home run?
And then he hit a go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it's like, I don't want to. I have to cheer for you, and I don't want to, because we shouldn't have been in this situation to begin with if you had just fielded a ground ball.
Yep. It seemed like Rougned always hit the late home run. Always, not just because it was a clutch situation, but it was always when everyone, especially on social media, was done with him. There were like 6 different moments in that season in 2022 where people were like, please DFA him now. Game's still going on, DFA him now. And he'd go, boom, walk off home run. It's like, what?
And like, Orioles fans fall in love with mediocrity like I've never seen.
Joey Rickard.
Like, there are Joey Rickard jerseys. Okay? There are Joey Rickard jerseys. Folks, we did not talk about this, but I love that the first name you said was Joey Rickard. I wanted to love the guy, but like, he wasn't any good. He wasn't any good. And people, like, they were, because of a good spring training as a rule, wasn't he like a Rule 5 pick?
He was a Rule 5 pick, and he was in the opening day lineup.
Yeah. Rule 5 pick in the opening day lineup, and because he had a good spring training, there were Joey Rickard jerseys that you could go to the store and buy. Rougned Odor, Adam Frazier, Hanser Alberto, Renato Nunez. We love mediocrity in Baltimore. And now, when we're trying to embrace the mediocrity and we say, just do enough to get us to the playoffs. They can't do it. They can't even be mediocre. They can't even be mediocre. Like, Dillon, I'm tired.
Yes.
I'm tired and I'm upset. And I'm just, and like, look, they could go out and sweep Minnesota. And everybody would be just loving life. Oh, they're going to make a run. They're in the third wild card spot, or they're right there, blah, blah, blah. They've got 6 games with the Yankees. They've got 6 games with Tampa Bay. They've got 5 games with the Red Sox. They've got 6 games with Toronto. I think they've still got 3 more games with Houston. They like, I said it the other day and I stand by it, and I don't want to stand by it, but I have to. They're more likely to lose 90 games this year than they are to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
and I did see that I forget who sent it out because I didn't look it up myself, but someone tweeted it was shortly after the deadline, or shortly before the start of the Texas series, that the Orioles had the hardest road ahead of any other team in Major League Baseball based on remaining schedule and winning percentage.
They have the hardest strength of schedule of any team in the American League the rest of the way.
Yes, it's like, even if the Orioles, okay, they did just take 2 of 3 from the Angels, right after the deadline, and it's like, okay, we're winning, we're only half game out, you still look at the strength, and you're like, okay, the Orioles just traded away Adley Rutschman, arguably their best reliever. And I want to believe, because we're only half game out right now, but then you see the strength scheduling, like, we just subtracted from this team, and you want me to believe that they can go on a run right now? They absolutely can, but it's just hard to believe in it.
They can't. They can't. Because we're 118 games into the season, and they haven't, because they can't. Like, their 7-game win streak was against it was salvaging the final game of the Cubs series. It was against a bad Royals team, and against, at the time, a very bad Houston team that somehow turned it on after that. I think that they they got embarrassed and turned it on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now they're in first place in the West. The Orioles can't do it. They can't, and they won't. I want them to, but what about the first 118 games of this season has led anybody to have any kind of confidence that there's any ability for them to make a run and make the playoffs? And
it's not only just 118 games, and Gunnar Henderson has an on-base percentage south of 300. That's the why.
And an OPS south of 700. And a batting average south of 220. Damn near south of 0 for 11 in the series against Texas. 0 for 11. And again, I don't want to pile on the guy. Not that he's watching, but I don't want to pile on the guy. But he's Jordan Westbrook getting hurt. Adley going on the IL 3 times and then getting traded. Basayo getting hurt a couple of times.
Blaze
getting hurt. Those are big chunks of it. But the one play, if you could blame one player for this season, is Gunnar. Hands down, it's Gunnar.
And not just that, but Craig, do something to help your boy out. Get him out of the top 3 of the order. Even if that just means you move him to cleanup or 5th. I want to see him 6th or 7th, but get him out of the top 3. He should not be seeing the most at bats of anybody in the game. He leads the
majors in at bats.
He shouldn't be doing that at this point. I don't care who you have subtracted from this roster. I don't care who you look at and go, well, who the hell are you going to put up there now? Because Blaze is on the IL and we don't have Westberg and all that kind of stuff. It really doesn't matter. Figure out who your top 3 is, but make sure that Gunnar Henderson is not in it. And as far as tomorrow goes, first game in Minnesota, even though they already removed him in the 7th inning today, If it were me managing, Gunnar Henderson is in street clothes tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you could say it's not a punishment, whatever. It could be a mental rest, whatever way you want to put it. I would put him just like a starting pitcher on his off day, literally just wearing a throw over, street clothes, sitting on top railing, and he's only going to get used if it's an emergency situation. That's it. Literally give him a full day tomorrow. Honestly, you could argue it for the whole flipping series, but at least do it tomorrow.
But they're not going to do that. And he's going to be leading off or batting second or batting third tomorrow. He'll probably be leading off because Ward's no longer here. Stanley front. Odor lover here. Guy brought nothing but joy in intentionally degraded seasons. Well, he played one season here, so it was one season. Let me tell you one of the reasons that I hated the Rougned Odor. Your team has a 10-game winning streak that year. You're playing better baseball. You're finally looking like the rebuild is starting to be behind you. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And you're starting a second baseman that can't field, that can't hit except the occasional home run. He was a 196 hitter. Okay. The Orioles that year were the only team. They were the only team in baseball to have on their roster at the same time 3 players with over 100 at bats batting below 200.
Mm-hmm.
They were the only team in baseball. And in one of those games, in game 108 against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Brandon Hyde started all 3 of them in the same lineup.
Yep.
He started Robinson Chirinos, Rougned Odor, and what was his name? Brett Phillips. And Brett Phillips in the same lineup with over 100 at-bats in the season, batting below 200. None of them got a hit. Odor started at third base despite telling Hyde he wasn't comfortable playing third base. He didn't make an error on a play, but he didn't field the hop correctly. He fielded at the back of the infield instead of charging on it. It was an infield single after Spencer Watkins had retired the first 13 batters of the game in order. They scored 4 runs that inning, and the Orioles lost that game 8-1. Yeah. Meanwhile, in an opportunity to sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates. Meanwhile, the Toronto Blue Jays, who were directly in front of you in the standings, go out to Oakland with a chance to sweep on a Sunday and field their A lineup and sweep the Oakland Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all Rougned Odor's fault that I don't like Rougned Odor.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with Brandon Hyde and the roster construction.
Odor did not play himself. He played when he was told to.
Yep. Like, here's the other thing. All these people are hating on Craig Alvarez this year. I'm not saying a word about him. I did that like before anybody else with Brandon Hyde. I was screaming it to anyone who wanted to listen that Brandon Hyde was not cut out for this for when things swung to winning again, that he was not cut out for it. And I watched him single-handedly keep the Orioles out of the postseason in 2022. And I was yelling for anybody willing to listen, this guy's a terrible manager. I'm not going to do it with Alvarez. I don't need to anymore. Like, everybody else can do it. I see the same things everybody else sees. You all can scream about how bad of a manager Alvarez. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because at the end of the day, you fired Brandon Hyde and nothing changed. You didn't bring Manzolino back and nothing changed. You brought in Alvarez and nothing changed. So, in my opinion, it's not the manager isn't helping his own calls,
right?
But at the end of the day, what's the commonality? What's the commonality here?
Yeah, it's not all Craig's fault for sure, and realistically, one thing that people have to remember, because people hadn't heard of Alvarez before, They think that, they just found someone who's just going to be a puppet to Elias, which sometimes we still feel like he is.
Mm-hmm.
But Craig Albanez was a very sought after manager candidate.
Mm-hmm.
This past offseason. There were multiple teams who were after him. He was one of the top candidates out there.
He turned down 2 managerial jobs last year. Turned them down.
Yes. So this was a guy that people wanted, and is it possible that it's just, people wanted him and he's not that great? That's very possible. But, I'm not upset that they hired Albert. There's a lot of people who, wanted.
Dillon, I don't know if it's me or if it's you. There's a lot of technical difficulties going on right now. You're all choppy, and I'm gonna boot you for a second. I'm gonna bring you back in here in a minute or so, okay? If you can hear me. Dillon's having some technical difficulties over there. Gonna wait for that to get sorted with him. But no, like Craig Albanez was highly sought after. He was highly sought after. He turned down a couple managerial jobs last year, and then he's made some boneheaded moves. It's his first year as a big league manager. There's going to be growing pains. Do I think that he is a finished product as a manager? Absolutely not. Somebody put in here, Dillon, we got you. Is anything better for you? No, he's blacked out. Somebody put in here, Gunner's not writing himself first in the lineup. We don't dislike Gunner. We dislike the season he's having. It's so funny because I posted the other day that it's funny how we guys get big contracts based on what they're going to do. Yes, it's based on what they've done before, but you're projecting outward. You're like, you know what? I'm going to give you $40 million a year because you're going to hit, like Juan Soto, you're going to hit 280 to 300 with 30 to 40 homers, and you're going to walk 150 times. So I'm going to pay you like that because that's what you've done. That's what you're going to do. Yet we're putting Gunner in the top 3 of the order despite ourselves based on what he's done in the past, not what he's done this year. It's like he's batting in the top 3 because he's Gunnar Henderson. It ain't working, though. It ain't working. He's got to be lowered. You cannot and you're not doing Gunnar any favors when he's trying to get out of this slump. The worst. This is the longest extended period of failure that Gunnar Henderson has probably ever experienced at anything in his entire life. Like, whatever sport that guy played growing up, he was great at. He has been a great baseball player his entire life. He has never failed like this. It is his first extended experience with failure this season. You were doing him no favors, putting him in the top 3rd of the order to fail night after night after night, knowing that if he is just who he was and what we thought was his worst season in 2025, that all the crap that's happened with this team probably it doesn't happen. Probably doesn't happen. We're not talking about Adley being traded. We're not talking about Craig Albanez or Mike Elias. If Gunnar Henderson is just 2025 Gunnar Henderson. And Gunnar knows that. So batting him first, second, or third every night, you're just making it worse. You want to, and at this point in the year, lowering him to 7th, 8th, 6th, 5th, whatever, at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm almost tired of talking about it because, we have established that Gunnar Henderson being as bad as he's been this year is the reason that the Orioles are where they are. It's not the only reason. It's a main reason. And so we're in a situation now, and Dillon's back with us, okay? We're in a situation now. You good to go?
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties.
All good. But I'm talking about Gunnar, and I'm saying, I'm almost, I'm at a point now where I'm just kind of tired of talking about him because it's been established, and we know. And he knows. And Craig Albanez isn't doing him any favors, batting him in the top third of the order, because it's just going to make him press more. But it's also we're also at the point where lowering him in the order at this point, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, the season's lost. In my opinion, your season's done. Because I just don't see how you're going to go out and you're not going to make the postseason below 500. The final wild card team is not going to be below 500. And I don't believe that the Orioles are going to get back to 500. I don't. There was a point where I did. I don't. And I don't believe it anymore. And so back Gunner wherever you want to at this point. You know, the season's gone. His season's lost. Just do whatever you want to do at this point, because when you decided to bring in 4A players to replace the key roster players that you traded, you waved the white flag. You put the writing on the wall that the season was done.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. Now, Dillon, what I look at is anybody that you want to know, if they're like any prospect that you want to know, are they ready to contribute? That's on the 40-man. Get them up here.
Yeah.
Give me Bradfield. Give me Heston. Give me Reed Trimble.
Yep.
Give me what's the guy's name? That reliever that they got, Kozar or something like that. What's his name?
Jackson Kowar.
Jackson Kowar. Is he hurt?
If I'm being completely honest, I've not been keeping tabs on him. I'm not sure.
I think that he got hurt, but like, I don't need to see. I like they have a lot of Let's see. Did he get DFA? I think they may. No, he's in the minors. But like, give me all of those guys. Yeah, Norfolk. Oh, he's only thrown in 5 games this year, so he's hurt.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that he's hurt. I don't understand this, like, at all.
Check his game logs. When was the last time he pitched?
The last time that Jackson Kowar pitched, yeah, he's been hurt since the last time he pitched was like early April. It doesn't say that he's on. Yeah. He's in the organization. I just checked his baseball reference. Somebody said it isn't in the organization, I don't think. Good evening, Laura. I just checked his baseball reference page. I'm pretty sure that he is in the organization. Let me check. Team, Baltimore Orioles minors. So he's got to be hurt. But like, I don't need to see Christian Franklin going out there at 26 years old. And I know that Heston Kjerstad is 27. I understand that. You didn't spend a second overall pick on Christian Franklin. You did on Heston.
Right.
You know, Reed Trimble's stupid fast, plays good defense, has a ton of power, just can't stay healthy. He's healthy now. He's been tearing the cover off the ball this year down to AAA. Get him up here for the last month and a half of the season. I would much rather watch the Orioles with, Cowser in left, Bradfield in center, and either Trimble or Kjerstad in right, and one of those guys DHing. Slow play Basayo if you have to. I don't need him back this year. Not if it's not going to make a difference. Like I would rather see those guys play and see what they can bring to the table than sit here and watch Gunnar Henderson and not Gunnar Henderson. He's going to play every day regardless. But like I would rather watch that than watch Tyler O'Neill and Christian Franklin and Leody Taveras run out there 5 to 6 days a week, and the Orioles lose ball games 3-1. I don't need it.
Hey, Tyler O'Neill is batting so much better now. Now that he doesn't have the pressure of Adley Rutschman watching him.
Fair. And
he was very intimidated by Adley Rutschman, and now that he's gone, he can feel comfortable, and he's looking great in the box now.
I will say, and he's catching strays from my ire right now, because Tyler O'Neill for the last almost 2 months has been swinging a much better bat. Swinging a much better bat. He went deep today. He's doing what he was paid to do against left-handed pitching finally, and he runs balls out. He's like sneaky fast. He's sneaky fast, and he's played pretty solid defense out there. So if you want
to, and the thing that's really getting me is he's not just up there free swinging. He's actually working counts. You know, one of the better at bats that he had. Oh, looks like I'm coming back in there.
Oh, add to the stream. DA. Well, you're out of here again. Like Tyler O'Neill's, yes, he's having good at bats. He's driving the ball out of the ballpark. He's been a much more productive hitter since about the middle of June. He's been a lot better. And if you want to play, but then play him every day. Play him every day. Play Tyler O'Neill every day. Play Cowser every day. Like at this point in the year, what's the point of platooning anymore? I don't understand the point of platooning anymore when they're not gonna. I do understand because they're 2 games out of a wild card spot, and the players and the managers and the coaching staff, they're not gonna pack it up, pack it in. They're not gonna do that. So I'm welcome back, Dillon. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, like, what's the point of platooning anymore? Just let these guys play every day. But I understand if they think it's the best chance for them to win is platooning and like putting these guys in the best matchup situations and all that. Again, we can't sit here and bitch. You didn't go for 2.5 games out of the playoffs, and now 2 games out of the playoffs say you're not making it anyway, so just play these guys. We can't have it both ways.
Of course we can. We're behind a computer screen.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Jackson B said Reed Trimble should definitely be playing for the Orioles right now. If Reed Trimble and Gary Brown said he and Bradfield struggle to stay off the IL. If Trimble had only had like 1 small stint on the IL or hadn't gotten hurt at all this year, he'd be here right now. There's not a doubt in my mind. Bradfield, the way he's been swinging it since he came off his most recent stint on the IL, which was probably about a month and a half now that he's been back, if he was swinging it this way all year, and again, this guy hitting about 260, sub 700 OPS, but he's never going to be a big OPS guy.
No.
Like, if both those guys had stayed healthy, I'm not convinced that they wouldn't already be here. So, yes. But they haven't. You're gonna see one of those guys up here. It's probably gonna be Heston in September when the roster's expanded to 28. They're probably gonna bring up a pitcher and a position player. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I will before it's too late, because when this like lockout inevitably happens and when it cuts into the season next year, which is it's in my opinion inevitable. I don't believe that they are going to cancel the whole season,
right?
But I do believe that we're going to miss games.
Oh yeah, I think so as well.
Trimble, Kjerstad, Bradfield, they can't play in the minors. The minors will play. Those guys can't play because they're on the 40-man. So, and that's the main reason also that Creed Willems isn't here, because he's not on the 40-man. And they're not going to add him to the 40-man for him to then not play in the minor. But then again, he has to be added before the Rule 5 this year.
I just double checked. Bradfield is not on the 40-man.
He's not?
Nope.
Oh no, he has to be added. He has to be added to be protected from the Rule 5 this year. But he's not. You're right. He's not on the 40-man.
Right. So
that's what it is.
Chances are we're not seeing Bradfield this year.
Yeah, we're not. I totally forgot about that, because I knew there's something with the 40 with him. He has to be added to be protected from the Rule 5. And but then it's like you're going to add him. They're not going to not protect him because somebody will take him.
Right.
Somebody will take him in the Rule 5, and he will be playing center field for like Kansas City next year.
Yeah.
You know what? And then when he's making these defensive plays and he steals, when he hits 207 next year, but has like a 310 on base percentage and he steals 50 bags and plays Gold Glove defense, you're going to be pissed off that you don't have him.
Yep, he's going to be taking walks, swiping bags, and hitting choppers that piss people off.
Yeah, like he's going to be like Gerard Dyson.
Yes, and you know, there's a lot of people out there that are saying that Enrique Bradfield Jr. his career trajectory is probably that of a reserve outfielder.
That's how I feel about him.
That pinch runner and everything, and that's kind of how I feel as well. But if you think that you can actually turn him into a decent regular out there that's swiping 50 bags and playing above average defense that you can stick in the bottom of your order, hell yeah. But even if he turns into a fourth outfielder, that's a valuable piece to have.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like where baseball has gone, and we got to get out of here soon. But where baseball has gone, it's not the game I grew up watching. And that sounds like such an old man thing to say. And it is an old man thing to say. Yes, I'm yelling at a cloud. There's 4 guys hitting above 300 this year.
Yep.
It used to be if you were a 250 hitter, you were at the bottom of the order. Or you were a bench player. If you were hitting 240, you couldn't be on the team. And now your team's leading hitters hitting 254.
270 is the new 300.
It is. 270 is the new 300. And then you look at like Leonardo Taveras should not be anything more than a 5th outfielder on this team.
Which, how can you even do that when his defense is that?
Right. And he plays 5 days a week.
Yep.
He plays 5 days a week. And there are 27 teams in this league where Leody Taveras bats 9th for them when he does play. The Orioles are like one of like 3 teams that bats that dude any higher than 9th, and it's mind-numbing.
Yep. What has mind-numbed me even more was when they used him for a good month stretch when they did take his regular at-bats away for a bit, when Cowser started turning it on earlier this year and started using him as a platoon bat against lefties when he cannot hit from the right side of the plate whatsoever.
190 versus left-handed pitching this year. 190.
Watching him take an at-bat from the right side of the plate is painful.
Mm-hmm.
It is so painful. And he was used for a good month stretch as just against left-handed pitching just because he had the ability to stand in a right-handed batter's box.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he was any good from that side, but just because he did.
Leody Taveras' splits this year. We're going to look at this. His OPS plus is 84.
Mm-hmm.
His OPS plus this year is on-base percentage is 301. And this dude has 308 at-bats. Versus left-handed pitching, 182 with a 486 OPS. Why is he allowed to play ever against left-handed pitching?
And I've always said, anytime he has to take an at-bat from the right side of the plate, maybe not because he started the game that way, but maybe they brought in a lefty and it's like, okay, you don't want to burn a bench bat already. Mm-hmm. I've always said bunt.
Yep. And I will say,
he's shown to be a decent bunter. Bunt. You have good wheels. If you're batting from the right side of the plate, your best move right here, I don't care what the situation is. Bunt.
He's got 10 stolen bases this year. I didn't know that.
He's got wheels and he's a decent base runner.
Yeah.
You know, he just doesn't know how to slide into home plate.
Yeah. But what I was saying is, I hate watching that dude bat. Like, I hate watching him bat. He is like the definition of a 3 true outcomes player. It's either a hit, it's either a home run or a strikeout with him, or the occasional walk. but he's the best outfielder on the team defensively. So he's got to play every day. He's got to play every day. And if you bat him ninth and he runs into one, he runs into one, like he did today. You know.
Yes.
You spent a 5th overall pick on him.
Yep.
You went 1-1 with Jackson, and you've been platooning him his entire career. You went 1-5 with Colton Cowser, and his bat has made you platoon him. You went 1-2 with Heston Kjerstad, and he's playing in AAA. Just get him up here and just play these guys every day. Run out the string. Guaranteed, 90% of the fans feel like I do. And just see what we got. Just see what we got.
And sorry, to go back to your why Colton's starting right now comment, because of his defense, we've seen so much putrid defense from the Orioles this season, especially in the outfield, that honestly, that's probably why they brought Christian Franklin in. They were like, we don't know who this kid is, but we know he can glove it in the outfield. Mm-hmm. So, and they saw that he had a low average, but high on base percentage in AAA. So they're like, you know what? That's basically what Taylor Ward did, but better defense. So
right.
He can take a walk, but this guy can actually run and field the ball in left field if we throw him out there. But
look at how he's barely playing now. He's barely playing now. Like they played him for like 3 games, and now like I think he has 1 at bat the last 5 days, something like that. Like they're barely playing him now. He's a 4A, and I can't believe how many beat writers got on board with him. Like how many of them just got on board with him? Like, oh, he's an interesting player, and he's gonna get some playing time, get an opportunity to prove himself. It's like, dude, no, man, he's Greg Allen. He's Greg Allen.
I was gonna say Ryan McKenna, but
dude, I hate Ryan McKenna. The second he called himself a Ferrari that you got let out of the garage, I was like, dude, you're an idiot. Get out of my face.
I love that comment.
I hated it, dude. I hated it. Like, do you know, like, I understand you want to be confident, but like, this isn't the minors. This isn't college ball. You're not like the best player on your high school team anymore. Like, you're like the 26th man on the roster. Yeah. Like, know who you are. Know who you are. Today's show brought to you by the latest issue of Press Box, which is available now. On the cover, Dave LaMonaco profiles how Orioles play-by-play broadcaster Kevin Brown became an amiable mainstay in Baltimore and one of the top voices in all of baseball. Also inside, Antonio Barbera looks at whether the championship window is narrowing for the Ravens veteran core. And it's our special travel issue with a look at sports tourism options for you and your family around Maryland this summer. Be on the lookout for the new print issue for free at your Baltimore area High's dairy stores, and also read it at PressBoxOnline.com. Wrapping things up here on the Bat Around. We don't have a ton of time to talk about it, but hang on a second. I don't actually hate these people. I don't actually, like, as a human being, I don't hate these people. But I hate them on my baseball team.
And it's also like in the same breath of like when we say someone is bad at baseball, we know that someone in professional baseball is not bad at baseball.
Yes.
Like
correct. Like there's 780 guys in the world that are actively doing what these guys are doing. Like to be one of those guys, you have like that's 0.1%. Like
right.
Not it's less than that. You have to be an elite athlete to be a professional baseball player. I don't hate Ruth Neto-Dor as a person. I don't hate Ryan McKenna as a person. I hate them on my baseball team because it's not going to cost you very much money to have players that are better. Have players that are better. That's what I don't like. When you have an opportunity to be better and this is what you send out there, that's what I hate. Yep. Like, so if I say I hate this player, I don't hate them as a person. I talked to Ryan McKenna on the phone when I was producing Glencore Radio, and he was very, very nice. Very nice guy. Don't hate that guy. I don't hate him. I didn't want him to play for the Baltimore Orioles. Just didn't. Now I'd probably take him as my 5th outfielder because he can't be worse than what we've been putting out there. Oh, how the turntables have Michael Scott reference. Anyway, next year there's going to be baseball.
Mm-hmm.
How do the Orioles get better? How do the Orioles get better? How do they avoid sending the same players out there and have the same? Because one, can you actually? Like, I know the answer to this is more rhetorical. Can you really count on Jordan Westberg to be there? To be there next year? He's going to come back, but how many trips is he making to the IL next year?
And that's the thing that sucks. I love Jordan Westberg.
Mm-hmm.
I love when he's on the field, plays good defense. He's a steady bat in the order. He's not going to be the best hitter on the team, but he's not going to hurt you either. Like, he's just that steady presence when he's there. So missing him this entire season has been brutal. Not blaming the Orioles' struggles on that, but going into next year, you kind of have to have a plan B. He can be your plan A. That's perfectly fine, but you need a really good plan B. And right now, that plan B is probably Blaze Alexander, who has been awesome this year.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in that aspect, you're kind of set in a sense when you're looking at the third base position, whether Westberg is healthy or not. You have options that really aren't going to hurt you. We see Kobe Mayo starting to turn it on now, especially now he's getting some more everyday looks, it seems. He's actually hitting righties better lately and everything like that. If he can actually turn that into something, he can be in the mix next year, So even if you can't depend on Westberg, it's almost going to be kind of a luxury if he's there. But if not, you got Blaze, you got Kobe type of deal.
Hasn't Blaze earned the right to be a plan A someplace for you next year? Or are you
quite possibly?
Or are you legitimately saying, all right, Blaze, Monday you're playing third for us. Tuesday you're playing second. Wednesday we're giving you the day off unless it's a pitcher that like we know that you can hit, or you're just scorching hot. Thursday you're playing center field. Friday you're back over at third base for us because Jordan needs a breather. Like
that's probably going to be the type of role that Blaze is in at possibly when he comes back off the IL this year, if he does, as well as next year. He can play those positions. I know he's had some issues here and there when he's in the outfield, but I think enough reps there. He's athletic enough. You can live with him out there, especially if it's not every day.
Now, Jackson B, Seiya Suzuki is like my main target.
Yeah.
He's an outfielder, hits for power, doesn't hurt you defensively, doesn't hurt you on the base paths. Seiya Suzuki is my main target in free agency from the offensive side of things. The problem with him is, I agree with you. I don't think he's leaving Chicago. I think the company will resign him.
Has he gotten better defensively? Oh my goodness, he's actually rated as a good defender this year. Mm-hmm. So in 2024 and 2025, I'm looking at his page now, he was rated as one of the worst defenders in the outfield in baseball. Mm-hmm. It was primarily a DH in Chicago because of that. I had no idea that he had turned it around defensively as much as he had this year.
Well, and for me, when I'm looking into these guys, I'm like, are they at least Taylor Ward?
Fair.
Taylor Ward did some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in the outfield to start this year. It was like he didn't know whether he wanted to dive or stay on his feet, so he did some kind of hybrid thing in the middle, and the ball like the one play where like he dropped to his knees and the ball landed in front of him, like because he was like running after and he dropped to his knees and just kind of fell forward. The other one where he tried to like slide and backhand, the ball landed 10 feet in front of him down the line in Boston and it turned into a triple. Or the one where he dove for the ball, he missed it. It bounced off of his glove and bounced forward. And instead of going to get the ball, he ran back to get his hat that flew off his head. Like I saw that, I was like, Gunnar had to run out from shortstop to get the ball because Taylor got up, instead of going after the ball, ran to go get his hat. I was like, did he really just do that in the middle of a game? My hat came off. Let me go grab that first and not the ball.
Wait, does Taylor Ward have a really embarrassing bald spot on his head that he really needed to cover it up that bad, or?
He's got good hair. He's got
Yeah,
good hair.
he does have good hair. He's not like me, you know.
The Pods asked about Holiday. They can ask all they want.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you Mason Miller for Holiday. It's going to take more than that on both sides, in my opinion. Now, and then the last thing that I want to get to, and before I get to it, I want to remind everybody today's show is brought to you by Leading Edge Auto Body. Your car is more than just a ride, it's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, customer satisfaction comes first. Their team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. And they make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery. Find out more at leadingedautobody.com. Jackson wants to know, I may be the only person that noticed this. He wants to know where you can find, I can't remember who they were playing. It was earlier in the year. It was like maybe in May. I just remember him diving for a ball. It bounced off his glove and bounced forward. His hat came off in the dive, and he got up and ran backwards to get his hat while Gunnar ran forward to get the baseball. And I could not believe what I was seeing. I have no idea. I have no idea where to find it. Maybe I can look for. Maybe it'll be like my next project. I'll try to find this clip. But they might. You also might not. They might not show it because it wasn't like a big moment in the game. I think.
Right.
But I lost my train of thought. What was I literally just talking about before that?
Seiya Suzuki?
No, not Seiya Suzuki. I mean, I was talking about that. See, and that's the thing. I'm exhausted. Like literally, I could fall asleep right now.
Well, while we're talking about Seiya, well, now I brought him back up. Now, yeah, I was just looking at it from 2022 to 2025. He had -6 outs above average in the outfield over those 4 seasons. But in 2026, he's +4.
He probably put the work in. He probably put the work in. Was like,
yep.
And think about the fact that he's a free agent at the end of the year. He wants a contract. He wants a contract, and he's not going to make as much money if he's a DH only, right?
That is very true.
So, but and now I remember what I was going to say. It's the Orioles think that they're going to have Ryan Helsley and Felix Bautista back in September. And they think they're going to have Blaze and Basayo back before the end of this month. So let's say you get Blaze back, you get Basayo back, you get Helsley and Bautista at the back end of your bullpen. Bautista's never going to be the guy that was throwing 103 ever again. He's never going to be that guy. But
I'm sure he could still be 96 to 98.
Right, and they've liked what they've seen from him so far in his bullpen sessions. So let's say that you get those guys back. You get Chris Bassett back. I'm doing it, Dillon. I'm doing it. See, anybody that thinks I'm negative, this is who I really am when it comes to the Orioles. I will find any reason to believe that they can do it. I will find any reason to. I'm literally sitting here in my head saying, well, they're getting Bassett back and Blaze and Basayo and Bautista and Helsley. Could they make a run? What happens if they get all those guys back in September and then the last month of the season they win 21 games? The next thing you know, they're in the wild card. This is actually how my head works more often than not. I just post the what everybody deems to be negative stuff because I have to vent. I have to get it out there. I have to say it to somebody. And those somebodies.
And here's the other thing is that for all the teams that are in the wild card hunt right now for that final spot, Texas Rangers, Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins, Cleveland Guardians, Baltimore Orioles, and you can also count Seattle Mariners and Toronto Blue Jays, who are a game and a half behind the Orioles right now. All of their fan podcasts are saying the same exact things right now. They're all of those teams. What do you got? 7 teams right there. All those fan bases and those teams themselves have every reason to doubt that their team is going to be the one that snags that third wild card.
Yeah.
That they have all went through probably the same type of heartache, or at least similar, that we're going through right now as well.
Yeah. We're not
wondering
alone.
why can't we push over the flipping hump already?
Mm-hmm.
Because they haven't been able to do it either.
I want to address this. Randall, I don't know anything about you. What I probably do know is that you're not a professional athlete with the world's greatest doctors and trainers and nutritionists and physical therapists. And you're probably not 6'8" and 30 years old, 29 years old. Like it's like when I sit here and I compare my baseball playing days to a major leaguer's. It's like I can talk about playing the game, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like I know you have both surgeries in your shoulders. In your shoulder, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. That he has access to things that you don't have access to. Drugs.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick, because it made me think of it when you mentioned Bautista's size. So I know I mentioned earlier that I was at the Bay Sox game last night. I did not realize how large of a human being Bay Sox first baseman Victor Figueroa is. This dude is massive.
How big is he?
I believe I think when I looked earlier today, 6'5", 240.
That's a big boy.
And he was one of the pieces that came back last year in the Laureano Ryan O'Hearn trade from San Diego.
Victor Figueroa, is that what you said?
Yes. And he just got promoted to AA, within the last couple weeks. But between high A and AA this year, because he doesn't even get talked about as a prospect. He's not on Pipeline's top 30 prospects for the Orioles. There are some other publications that talk about him a little bit, but he's not in the conversation at all. Dude's been mashing this season between high A and now AA. Over 90 games, he's got 24 homers and over a 900 OPS.
That's not, and he's in AA.
He just got promoted to AA.
Yeah, he's having a good year. Strikeouts a little higher than I'd like.
Yes, he is striking out a ton. But over 89 games last season, he had 12 homers total. 90 games this year, he's got 24 tanks. And I saw him hit a ball last night. I think it was the second inning because what's his name? Holy crap, I'm forgetting his name for that Orioles just got from Red Sox. How am I forgetting his name already? He's top pitching prospect now. Either way, he gave up the tank.
Anthony Ianson?
Ianson, thank you. I don't know how I forgot his name, but he gave up the homer in the second inning that made the Nationals AA team go up 1-0. And then Victor Figueroa led off the bottom of the second with an absolute piss missile to right field to tie up the game. And I was like, holy shit. And this dude is just a massive human being that I never really paid attention to prior. So apologies, Victor, but I will now.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a big year. He's having a big year. I gave up an absolute tank shot today in my game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I threw a chain. This team that we played, and Dave Johnson, former Orioles pitcher, he's been on the show. He was playing third base for that team. He and his son Steve played for this team in our league.
Okay.
It's their 30 and over team. They have a team in the 30, 40, and 50 and over leagues. And he plays in the 30 and over league still, Dave Johnson. And told me I pitched well today. It was nice. It was nice to hear that from him.
Oh, yeah.
They have this center fielder on their team that just mashes baseballs. Like it's stupid. I threw a changeup I got ahead 0-1. I threw a really nice fastball in the inside corner that kind of froze him. And then I threw him a changeup that didn't do anything. Like it was, I gripped it like a changeup, but it was like a 65 mile an hour fastball that just hung right at the belt, right down the middle. He hit it like 500 feet. As soon as he hit it, I went like it was. He had He had an inside the park home run in his first at bat because he's a lefty. And my center fielder was playing in right center, and he hit it to the left center field gap. And nobody out there could throw today because they all have shoulder injuries. And he got an inside the park home run. Then he hit the monster shot off me. Then he tripled off the fence later in the game, and then he hit a bloop pop-up single to drive.
Oh man!
Like the guy, I did get him out once. I threw him a 3-1 curveball that he rolled over on. He grounded out to second base. So I was cool with that. But
there you go.
We gotta go, man. This is the longest show we've done in a while. So kudos to you for
well, my apologies because I think me escaping a couple times by accident helped in that.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't realize that I had as much to say. I didn't put a lot of thought into the show today because like I'm at the point now where it's like, man, I wish I could just not watch them. Like if I didn't have to do the show, and I love doing the show. It's tough when you're so frustrated with the team, and I'm like, man, if I didn't have to do the show, I would not be watching them. Like I would not watch them today. And I didn't think about how much I wanted to say. And I had so much to say today, and I had so much vitriol just hiding beneath the surface about how things are going that
I brought it out.
Yeah, and I was glad because it feels good to let it out. It feels good to just go, ah, and scream into the void. So, Dillon, really appreciate you coming on the show. Really appreciate all of our loyal listeners, viewers, fans of the show. Without you, we don't have a show. Axeman, I'd love to have you on more, and I think we'll have opportunities in the fall because once Zach gets coaching baseball, because we do have to move the show when football season starts at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, and that's coming sooner than people think. And Zach coaches football, so we may have more opportunities in the final month of the season to have you on. I'm really looking forward to because we always have good baseball talk. So I appreciate you, man. Anything you want to leave us with before we get out of here today?
As you know, just to go against everything that we talked about today, Orioles are going to the playoffs.
You heard it here first, folks. I
just had to say it.
I will like fight with myself. Don't believe, Paul. Don't believe. You're setting yourself up for heartache, but I also can't not. So
it's going to be game 162. They need a win to get in, and it's going to be a walk-off home run at the hands of Christian Franklin.
That would be like when I called Henry Arrudia's walk-off home run, and it was his only career home run. I called that home run.
So did I.
I called it in the 7th inning.
Oh, okay. I did not do it then. I did it as he was coming to the plate.
PJ wants to know where Zach is. Zach's on vacation with his family, so he'll be back next
week. What an
I
asshole!
believe. No, but I went to the game with my best friend Adam, and I told him, I said, Adam Jones, Chris Davis, Jonathan Scope, and Henry Arrudia are all hitting home runs today. I think that Davis was the only one that didn't. I believe Jones and Scope went deep. It was the 7th inning, and the Orioles are they're coming back against Noah Syndergaard and the Mets. And then he was like, I was like, there's Scope. He's like, well, what about I think all 3 of those guys did. I think I called all the home runs. And then he was like, well, what about Arrudia? I was like, it's going to be a walk-off. And then he hit a walk-off home run for his only career home run. I had such high hopes for Hank Arrudia. Had such high hopes.
Hell yes. So did I. I actually interviewed him a couple times when I was writing for O's Uncensored.
Oh, really?
I can't even get the link anymore because the website doesn't exist anymore. But I did a whole interview with him talking about his escape from Cuba.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It was so detailed. It was awesome.
Oh, man.
We literally did the entire interview using Google Translate.
That's cool.
I'm not even joking.
That's such a good story. And what a way to end the show talking about Henry Arrudia. Somehow.
Yes.
Orioles baseball, baby.
I will always have love for Henry Arrudia because he always gave me the time.
Apparently he's a super nice guy. So
yes.
All right. Guys, thank you. And girls, women, men. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Until next week, see ya!